But above all, we know the players to bring you the latest in-depth analysis on all the key stories that we're covering. I'm Eric Ham. Join me from Washington here on Firstpost America. Hello everyone and welcome to the program. Today we highlight more appointments by Donald Trump and the latest moves being made by world leaders as they prepare for his return to the White House. All of that just ahead, but first, here's a look at the latest headlines. The judge in Donald Trump's hush money case delays deciding on whether to throw out the case until the 19th of November on grounds of presidential immunity. Donald Trump has been convicted of 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. Secretary of State Antony Blinken meets NATO chief in Brussels. Secretary Blinken calls for a unified response to the deployment of North Korean troops alongside Russian forces in eastern Ukraine. Vietnam looks to restart its nuclear power plant project to meet the country's rapidly increasing energy demand. Vietnam scrapped the plans to build the nuclear plants for the civilian use back in 2016. The United States bans all flights operating to and from Haiti for the next 30 days. This after 3 airlines reported that their aircraft were struck by bullets fired by Haitian gangs. And hundreds of residents evacuate their homes as massive wildfires continue to burn in New York and New Jersey. Fire officials say that 5,000-acre blaze that's spreading is fueled by dry and windy conditions. We begin with the latest on Donald Trump's transition efforts. The president-elect announced that billionaire Elon Musk and former Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy will lead the newly created Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. In a social media post, Donald Trump said Musk and Ramaswamy will help his administration dismantle government bureaucracy, slash excess regulations, cut wasteful expenditures, and restructure federal agencies. Now, despite the name, the department will not be a federal agency. It will, in fact, provide guidance from outside the government and partner with the White House to drive structural government reform. This means that Musk and Ramaswamy's role would be informal and would not require the Senate's approval. The announcement comes after Donald Trump promised a role for the world's richest person while on the campaign trail.
A government efficiency commission tasked with conducting a complete financial and performance audit of the entire federal government and making recommendations for drastic reforms. We need to do it. Can't go on the way we are now. And Elon, because he's not very busy, has agreed to head that task force. Be interesting. If he has the time, that'd be a good one to do it, but he's agreed to do it.
Now, reacting to his appointment, Musk said all actions of the department will be posted online for maximum transparency. The Tesla CEO, who donated more than $100 million to Trump's re-election, talked about cutting government expenditure throughout the campaign.
All government spending is taxation. So whether it's direct taxation or all government spending, it either becomes inflation or it's direct taxation. Your money is being wasted, and the Department of Government Efficiency is going to fix that.
Meanwhile, Indian-American biotech entrepreneur Ramaswamy, who suspended his election bid and backed Donald Trump in January, also responded to the announcement, saying he and Musk will not go easy while running the department. The department's acronym DOGE is a reference to a popular meme and the name of a cryptocurrency Dogecoin, which Elon Musk passionately promotes. While the value of Dogecoin has more than doubled since the election, it's unclear if this new advisory role will pan out as well. Musk and Ramaswamy have never worked together, and the two businessmen have no actual government experience. And now moving to the north to Canada, the country has put its border with the United States on the highest levels of alert in anticipation of an influx of migrants. Canada says it expects thousands of asylum seekers coming into the country after Donald Trump won the race for the White House. Now, Donald Trump has repeatedly claimed that he will carry out the biggest deportation of migrants on day one after taking office. In response, Canada has deployed hundreds of Border Patrol agents anticipating a wave of asylum seekers. However, Canada's Immigration Minister Marc Miller said that not everyone will be welcome in Canada, and Ottawa will take aggressive actions in the national interest. The warning comes 7 years after Prime Minister Justin Trudeau promised that Canada would welcome any and all asylum seekers. The Trudeau administration, however, is now backtracking as immigration becomes a hot-button issue ahead of the 2025 election. Donald Trump has repeatedly said that he disapproves of Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, and the two leaders have shared frosty relations in the past.
Trump has said that he doesn't like you very much in the past. What makes you the best person to lead the Canadian government's efforts here?
I think that President Trump will obviously speak for himself, and I would never put words in his mouth. But in my experience, President Trump respects strength, and he respects people and countries who are strong and clear in defending their countries, in defending their national interest. That's what I've always done, and that's what I will continue to do.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said that he will work with the incoming Trump administration to strengthen bilateral ties.
We know that even as the Trump administration is significantly concerned about international pressures, particularly overcapacity by China and unfair trade practices by China, Canada is aligned with the United States already, and we're going to be able to do good things together. We were able to make sure that Canada and the United States together were creating good jobs and economic growth on both sides of the border by working as friends and partners, and we're going to do that again.
Canada's concerns of receiving an overwhelming number of people fleeing Donald Trump's America are in fact legitimate. After Donald Trump took office for the first time in 2017, Canada witnessed a spike in Americans and immigrants trying to enter the country. From 2016 through 2020, Canada saw a six-fold increase in asylum seekers. The majority of asylum seekers have been from countries like Haiti, Mexico, Colombia, and the United States. And data from the Canadian Immigration Department shows that most of the asylum seekers had fled the United States. Regardless of whether Donald Trump carries out mass deportations or not, his plans are already straining ties with Canada, which has been America's strongest supporter and ally for centuries. World leaders are gearing up for Donald Trump's return to the White House, but they are prepping in rather unique ways, ranging from golf to English lessons. South Korean President Yeol is polishing his putting skills, hoping a round or two of golf could set the stage for big conversations. Others, like Indonesian President, took a vastly different approach, aiming to connect with Donald Trump. Leaders around the world are readying themselves for Donald Trump's next chapter. And here's more on the preparations these leaders are in fact making.
The 47th President of the United States.
With Donald Trump back in office, global leaders are polishing up their putting skills and English vocabulary, preparing for an unprecedented swing in diplomacy. Trump, an avid golfer himself, has a history of completing business deals and meetings at the 19th hole. And now, as Trump returns to the White House, South Korea is expecting to boost diplomatic relations on the greens. South Korean President Yoon Yeol is relearning golf and practicing his swings in the nets. After staying away from the golf course for nearly 8 years, President Yoon now finds himself spending his free time on the fairway. President Yoon has a knack of wooing American presidents. In 2023, the South Korean leader sang his rendition of the famous Don McLean song American Pie.
Music used to make me smile.
This happened at a state dinner with current President Joe Biden. And now, with Donald Trump making a comeback, President Yoon has dropped the mic and picked up the golf clubs. But why golf? Because it's one activity that Donald Trump truly cherishes. During his first presidency, Donald Trump reportedly played 261 rounds of golf. That's at least one round every week. Donald Trump also owns at least 18 golf courses across 3 continents. While a majority of the president-elect's golf courses are in the United States, he also owns fairways in Scotland, Ireland, Dubai, Oman, and Indonesia. Clearly, Donald Trump takes his golf seriously. And South Korea's President Yoon doesn't want to be caught in the bunkers. However, golf isn't the only thing on the minds of world leaders. Indonesia's new president, Prabowo Subianto, has shown his readiness to connect, posting a congratulatory video for Trump. In the video, he called Trump Sir multiple times and offered to meet him personally. When Trump shrewdly appreciated the Indonesian president's English, Prabowo thumped with excitement and saw an opportunity to strengthen US-Indonesia relations.
Nice to talk to you. How are you?
Fine, thank you. I would like to congratulate you on your election as President of the United States of America. I would like,
thank you so much.
if possible, I would like to call personally on you. Wherever you are, I'm willing to fly to congratulate you personally, sir.
Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice. Well, we'll do that anytime you want, but great job you're doing in Indonesia. Great job. Proud of you.
Sir,
Really amazing. And your English is so good.
Yes, sir, I've been...
Very good, the English.
I've been to... all my training is American, sir.
That's great. That's neat. Yeah, we had a great election in the U.S.
South Korean President Yoon and Indonesian President Prabowo aren't the only ones preparing for Donald Trump's return to the White House. Leaders of France, Germany, and Australia are also making efforts of backtracking from previous insults which were once directed at Trump. As world leaders prepare for Trump's unconventional style, they are well aware that this administration might call for creative, flexible diplomacy. From the fairways to the negotiation tables, the next 4 years could bring unexpected opportunities for cooperation and a reshaping of alliances.
And now to the Middle East, where Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has warned Iran against carrying out more attacks on Israel. The Prime Minister released a video warning the Iranian regime against further escalations in the region. Netanyahu said that another attack on Israel would cripple Tehran's economy.
The Netanyahu regime launched hundreds of ballistic missiles at my country, Israel. I wonder, did he tell you how much that attack cost? Well, I'm not guessing. It's $2.3 billion. That's how much of your precious money they wasted on futile attacks.
In an attempt to speak directly to Iranians, Prime Minister Netanyahu urged them to stand up to the Islamic regime headed by its supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei.
Another attack on Israel would simply cripple Iran's economy. It would rob you of many more billions of dollars. I know that you don't want this war. I don't want this war either. The people of Israel don't want this war. There is one force putting your family in grave danger. The tyrants of Tehran. That's it.
Now, the Israeli leader also said that Khamenei's regime was more afraid of free speech and empowered women than it is of Israel.
The world has seen but a fraction of our power. Yet there's one thing Khamenei's regime fears more than Israel. You know what it is? It's you, the people of Iran. That's why they spend so much time and money trying to crush your hopes and curb your dreams. Well, I say to you this, don't let your dreams die. I hear your whispers. Women, life, freedom, zan, zandagi, azadi. Don't lose hope. And know that Israel and others in the free world stand with you.
Tensions between Israel and Iran have reached a boiling point since April, when Tehran launched ballistic missiles at Israel in retaliation for an Israeli airstrike that destroyed the Iranian consulate in Syria. Then on October 1st, Iran launched over 200 projectiles at Israel to avenge the killing of the leaders of Hamas and Hezbollah. In retaliation, Israel launched airstrikes targeting air defense systems and other military installations across Iran on the 27th of October. The United States maintains its support for Israel, and Washington has even warned Tehran against any more attacks. Incoming President Donald Trump has repeatedly threatened Iran and was responsible for escalating tensions with Tehran in 2020 after ordering the killing of a senior Iranian general. The president-elect and prime minister have enjoyed close ties over the years, but it remains to be seen whether Washington will in fact take a more aggressive approach towards Iran once Donald Trump takes office. And finally, Costa Rica has awarded El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele its highest honor for his ruthless approach to slashing gang violence. Despite human rights concerns, Costa Rican President Rodrigo Chavez seeks Bukele's tactics as a model for his own country, which is facing record-breaking violence fueled by drug trafficking. As Chavez looks to Bukele's playbook, Costa Rica weighs how far it is in fact willing to go to restore public order. Our final report looks at the growing violence.
Costa Rica awarded El Salvador's President, Nayib Bukele, its highest diplomatic honor, celebrating his fierce battle against gang violence. This move marks a surprising twist, with Costa Rica lauding Bukele's tough methods while struggling with its surge in crime.
It was the most insecure country, and now it is one of the safest countries there is. You tell me, and it's very good what he does, that those who are imprisoned must have to work.
Bukele's war on gangs has captivated and divided Central America. His campaign suspended key constitutional rights, allowing arrests without warrants and fast-tracking prosecutions. Critics see this as a rollback of democracy, but his supporters see it as necessary action.
I've said 1,000 times in this country that for democracy to be worthwhile, it has to give results to society, to not be replaced by another political system that we Costa Ricans don't want to see.
Costa Rica, long a beacon of peace and democracy, now faces one of its worst security crises. Last year, homicides reached an all-time high, with 906 recorded deaths, up from 655 the year before. Drug cartels have turned Costa Rica into a major transit point, sending cocaine to Europe and the US. The country's streets, once calm, now echo with the effects of a growing drug trade.
The crooks have to be in the place where they belong, and the people have to be at ease. Even if someone disagrees, let them go to El Salvador and ask the people of El Salvador to see what response they get about how they are now walking happily in the street without fear of being mugged, without fear of being killed.
Rodrigo Chavez Robles, elected in 2022, is a newcomer to politics. And even though the Costa Rican president was all praise for Bukele, the El Salvadoran leader took this as an opportunity to defend his approach. President Bukele argued that protecting life is the priority, yet he acknowledged that mistakes have been made in El Salvador's fight against crime.
Some people say we are violating the human rights of criminals. No. All criminals have human rights. All of them. There is not a single criminal in this world that doesn't have rights. All criminals have rights because they are human.
Bukele admitted that over 8,000 innocent people were wrongfully jailed under his state of emergency, though activists claim the true number is far higher, possibly 30,000.
Obviously, no police operations are perfect, so, without any intention of harming anyone, some innocent people were obviously captured just as they are in France, in Germany, in Japan, and in all the countries of the world. We have already freed 8,000 people, and we are going to free 100% of the innocent people.
Bukele also advised Costa Rica to toughen its own prison policies, calling the country's current system too permissive after a visit to one of its largest prisons.
We hope you will take action and listen to those of us who have suffered, not what you're suffering now. Prisons cannot be the headquarters of crime. They must be places to hold those who must be removed from society.
Bukele's policies, however controversial, have reshaped El Salvador and now prompt questions about Costa Rica's path forward. As Costa Rica weighs Bukele's hardline model, the debate over democracy and security intensifies. Costa Rican officials face tough choices about balancing rights and safety in a region increasingly affected by gang violence and the global drug trade.
That's all we have time for today. We certainly thank you so much for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you once again back here tomorrow. Thanks everyone for watching. From impeachments to inaugurations, if it's a political story, we are on the scene. If it's breaking news, we're live with the latest coverage. From the White House, the State Department, and Capitol Hill, we know the issues, but above all, we know the players to bring you the latest in-depth analysis on all the key stories that we're covering. I'm Eric Ham. Join me from Washington here on Firstpost America.
Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. My name is Utsav Parekh and here are the top stories of the day. US President Joe Biden will host